So, one of the kids asked me, what is the difference between an equation and an inequality? Okay. In an equation, you have one absolute answer. In an equality, you have many possible answers. So when you're creating your word problem, you want to make sure that you include a, if the word problem involves an inequality, there's a whole bunch of different answers that if you put them inside your word problem, they would make sense. Okay? For example, you look at, you look at going to the movies, for example, and you have tickets. Let's say the movie tickets cost $3. I don't know what movie tickets these are, right? Because all movie tickets cost like $8. But in this particular situation, the movies cost $3.
The cheap ones.
Now, if I was gonna take some friends to the movies, I mean, there's a lot of different variables that come into play. But if I was gonna take some friends to the movies, first I gotta know how much money I have. Okay? So, let's say I have $50. Well, let's say I have $60. In an equation, how many friends could I take?
20.
Okay. How many friends could I take if I wanted to fill up my whole $60?
20.
Pretty easy, right? 20. $33 times 20 tickets equals $60. Pretty simple. Now, one of the things that I want to point out is the fact that here my variable x equals tickets. The variable needs to mean something. The variable just doesn't mean a letter. It has to represent something in the situation. So $3 times the amount of tickets gives me my total. Specifically. That's it. There's no other option. If it was going to equal to $60, it would have to be an equal sign. But in an inequality, okay, in an inequality using the same scenario, okay, there's many possible options. Okay, and like I told you guys, inequality could be one ticket, could be two tickets, could be three tickets. It just depends on the situation. Now, I'm going to write an inequality using the same example. Okay? I still want to use $3 because the tickets, they don't change. But now, the way that I want to change it is I'm going to include less than or equal to sign. Okay? In this case, let me put a less than. And I want to also have $60. So whatever this is, it needs to be less than $60. Because, how can I explain it? Because you gotta have, let's say, some extra money for some popcorn. You don't want it to equal exactly $60. You want it to have a little bit less. Okay? Now this word problem can go forever and ever and ever. And what the point I'm trying to make with this video is I'm trying to get you to understand the difference between both of these. Okay? So I can still use X for tickets. Okay? Now what this is going to say is however many tickets I buy, it needs to be less than $60. Does that make sense? Now, does it make sense that you got to read this as less than so that the whole entire situation makes sense? Okay? So I could have one ticket, I could have two tickets in here, I could have three tickets in here, and whatever this answer is, it would be less than $60. Does that make sense? I could have used a situation where I include the word greater than. There's a million examples, and that's exactly why I have you guys write your own word problems, so that you can, it's your imagination. How do you see these types of inequalities? If I have 3 tickets, but what's the maximum amount of tickets that I can buy? that would make this statement true. Okay, and so now you go into your solution part. In your solution part, it's as simple as solving it as you did up here. You would leave x by itself, so dividing it by 3. $3 over $3 gives me 1. But whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other, right? We've gone over that over and over. So I still divide it by $3. Bring down my x. Bring down my less than sign. And 60 divided by 3, we said it was 20. Now, let me explain to you, again, so when you're at home watching this video, you get a better understanding. Let me explain to you the difference between this answer and this answer. And this one, previously we said it was $20. No, I'm sorry. Let me go back. Perfect mistake that allows me to re-explain. Okay? We said X was tickets. So the answer is not in dollars, it's in what? It's in tickets. So that was my mistake. Okay? Like the kids from the game time learning videos, I don't know if you got a chance to see them, they would say my bad, right? So in this case, my bad. So we said X equals tickets. So over here, X needs to equal tickets. So here, X equals exactly 20 tickets. Over here, X is less than 20 tickets. And what that means is I cannot have more than 20 tickets to make this statement true. Not even exactly 20 tickets, or 21, or 22, or 23. Unless I had this symbol, then I would be okay. But since I don't, then it doesn't include 20. And I don't know if you remember going back to the number line thing, where they had 18, 19, 20. Good. You would have an open circle.
Okay.
You would have an open circle because it does not include 20. Okay? It does not include 20. If it included 20, if it had that little symbol like that, then you would shade in the circle. Okay? But in this case it doesn't, so we call it an open circle. So the point I was trying to make, again with the video, is for you to understand the difference between these two different types of answers. An equation and an equal sign. An equal sign and an inequality sign. Okay? So again, I hope this video kind of clarifies whatever misconceptions you might have had. Look at it over and over and over and over as many times as it clears whatever questions you have. If not, email me and I will answer your questions or ask me during class. Thank you.